that he's up there, to compete against anybody in the junior lightweight division.
Do you think Stevenson will get hurt for the first time in his career in this fight?
I think he'll feel the difference from so many different fights and opponents. I think he'll feel the difference, but I don't know if he'll get hurt, but he will feel the difference.
Do you think it's safe to call this the most difficult fight for Stevenson?
I think so, definitely, 100%. 100%.
And Robert, what do you think of that fight coming up in Australia, Haney and Kambosos?
Well, look, Haney's wants to be great and going out there and taking a chance. We've seen like when Pacquiao fought over there, it was hard for him to get the decision. But he's he wants to be great and he wants to go out there and become a undisputed champion. So you got to respect him. And honestly, I didn't think he would do it, but he did.
Do you think he'll win enough rounds to get a decision?
I think he wins. I think he probably wins most of the rounds. That's my opinion.
Why do you give him the edge?
Just a much better boxer. I think he'll box and win round by round. It'll be hard, depending on the judges, but I think he wins by decision.
So you don't feel like he needs a KO that Haney needs to go over and score a knockout or a couple knockdowns?
Not necessarily. I just think if he dominates, round by round and clearly wins the rounds, why it would just look really bad for boxing. If he doesn't get the decision, even if it goes all 12 rounds.
Do you think Canelo has a difficult fight with Bivol next week?
I think he does, definitely.
Why?
Bivol is a very, very strong guy, very big, tall, and strong, and he uses his reach very well. I still pick Canelo to win. He's just too strong right now for that division. I don't think there's anybody that could beat him, but he is in a difficult fight. I think Bivol, and I got some of my guys sparring with him, and he's doing really good. He's a great tall. He uses his reach. He's very strong, and he's motivated to win.
You think it'll look kind of like those two Golovkin fights?
It's possible, Plus, this guy's much bigger, taller and everything. So it's not going to be an easy fight.
How's Canelo going to deal with the straight punches of Bivol?
I think Canelo has good defense, good guard, and he'll block most of those punches, but he'll find his way in. Canelo, is really good at that, and obviously work the body. Working, with the body, and I think he'll finish him in the late rounds.
Robert, with the Charlo Castaño rematch, who should be more confident going into the rematch, do you think?
You know what? It's really a hard pick. The first fight was very close. Me personally, I thought Castaño pulled it off, but it was still very close. But coming to the rematch, I don't know. I kind of think Charlo's probably going to be the better man, but Castaño is a warrior, man. Those guys from Argentina, they come to fight. They're hungry to be great, and right now Argentina needs a big star right now, a big name. So it's Castaño's opportunity. So you can't count him out,
Having watched them fight before, who do you think has the most room to grow to defeat the other?
I think that's what I say. I think Charlo. I think Castaño has his style and does what he does. I think Charlo is the one that could be much better in the second time.
And why is that?
Kambosos, man.
What was that?
Devin Haney versus Kambosos.
I think Haney wins by decision. I think Haney's just a much better fighter, more talented, and I think he'll win round by round.
Robert, some people feel like Benavidez might be the best fight out there for Canelo, for the fans, like the toughest one. Do you feel that way, or is it someone else?
No, I agree. Also, he's fast, he's strong, he's hungry, and he's Mexican American, and that's what the fans want to see. But I also understand Canelo, and Canelo calls the shots, and if he says Benavidez has to earn it, well then Benavidez has to go out and beat somebody like Caleb Plant, Charlo at 160, or obviously the 160-pounder Charlo. So I don't even know which one's which, but honestly I don't. But the 160-pound Charlo.
Would you favor him in those fights?
I think he does. I think he beats both of those guys, and then he'll learn the spot to fight Canelo. I think Canelo calls the shots right now, and he's got the right to do it.
What about Beterbiev? A lot of people say Beterbiev.
What was that? Beterbiev. The other guy that they're saying is a big challenge for Canelo is Beterbiev.
Well, I think Canelo, becoming champion at 175 again. I think he might want to be the undisputed at that way too, because Beterbiev's going to fight, and they're going to unify also. So all belts will be in line. So it just takes one fight to become undisputed again. So that might be Canelo's next step. Maybe next year.
Is he too slow for Canelo? Beterbiev?
You know what? The thing with Canelo is that even if you're too fast, if you're too strong, Canelo finds a way, man. I just see Canelo is just one of those guys that we see once in 20 years. You don't see those that often. He adjusts to everything. He always, he's very strong physically. He's one of those fighters that you just can't hold back. It doesn't matter if you're too fast or too slow. He's going to find a way to get to you.
Robert, earlier you said you have guys that are sparring in the gym with Bivol right now. I watched Bivol work out a couple of times myself. One thing that is understated about Bivol that no one ever talks about is his studying body punches. Do you think that he can land some body punches on Canelo while Canelo's coming in?
It won't be that easy because he's the much bigger guy, and if he focuses on going to the body, then that means he's going to stay in front of Canelo to try to land those body shots. So I don't even think it's too convenient for him to look for body shots, but because that would favor Canelo, because that'll put him into a position where Canelo could land a little bit faster. I think the smart way to him to do is what he's doing in the gym, fighting smart, staying on the outside, using his reach and those long straight punches.